This episode of WoW Weekly is brought to you by WoWweekly.net, your source for Warcraft and Blizzard news, guides, and editorials.
This week in Warcraft, the Hearthsteed is available. We are still depressed by the planned release season for Warlords of Draenor, and Heroes of the Storm has gone into the technical alpha testing. And sadly, we do not have an invite. I'm Mezzy, and welcome to WoW Weekly, episode number 26. Can you guys really believe we've already done half a year worth of podcasts?
I don't know how we survived it with you, man.
I know. I mean, how did you?
Yeah. Barely.
As always, joining me this week are LJ. How are you, LJ?
I'm doing quite well. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well. Had some good stuff happen today. So, yeah.
That's always nice.
Indeed. And joining us as well is Matt. Welcome back, Matt.
I'm glad to be here. Sorry about last week. We were busy. Real life things, you know.
Yeah,
Unheard
real
of.
life sucks.
Real life is a lie.
Yeah, exactly. The graphics aren't great. Well, I guess the graphics are, but the gameplay isn't.
The respawn rate is too low, to be honest.
Yeah, they really need to up that in the next patch.
They should patch it, I mean. That's been a patch for centuries now.
Yeah, that's true.
Help me.
So yes, today we'll be talking about the developer interviews, and in this week's discussion point, we will be talking about the Heroes of the Storm system for choosing and buying heroes, so you can always play them. But let's start off with Warcraft. This is WoW Weekly after all. So one thing we haven't really discussed yet in this podcast is are the interviews that happened over the past few weeks. What first looked like a sort of press push to have more interest back into Warlords, but then Monday's unfortunate announcement happened. So let's start off really with probably the most interesting news for us, which is that in Warlords of Draenor there's going to be two progression paths when it comes to gear. Both paths are going to start in normal dungeons, but one is going to be from normal dungeon to LFR, which is then going to be a valid progressive path, and the other is going to be from normal dungeons to heroic dungeons into normal raids, and so skipping LFR altogether. I'd say terrific. We don't have to do LFR then to get gear for normal raiding. I am, however, not sure if they mean current normal raiding or normal raiding in Warlords of Draenor, which would be flex level. But what are your guys' initial reactions? Let's have Matt start.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's nice that they're trying to set out to clear goals. Hopefully, we are going to find the heroic dungeons a bit of a challenge, which is what we've all wanted. So I don't know. It does sound alright. It sounds good, but I think the worry of what you've just said there. Are they meaning that it's going to get ready for the current standard, which is flexi? Which, yay, I might as well do some LFR. And our guild's going to sort of abuse LFR like they did before, just to get tier loot and that type of thing. Or the tier thing's going to be quite good. So I don't know.
Okay.
It does say overall it sounds all right, but there are a few cons.
Yeah, a few things they need to clarify. If they mean current normal mode or normal mode in Warlords. LJ, your initial reaction?
I think it's a good thing as well, like what Matt said. But I would just want to like say that it's probably like normal as in Warlords of Draenor. They're focusing everything on that, and I mean like they're tuning everything to that, not a tuning, but tuning everything to that. So I would say it's for that. But I think it's a good way to set out two different paths that gearing up etc. are possible, and it can let people who don't want to do LFR or what was it, heroic dungeons choose for a different path, which is good for the options on the whole. I mean, you never had that really before in World of Warcraft that much. So I think that now, especially with Flex going the way they want, looking for raid being added for a couple of years now, and the heroics that's been in there since Burning Crusade, I think it's a good combination of paths that, if you actually combine it together, like it hasn't been done yet, that you can have decent amount of choices for a decent amount of different players. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, I myself, I'm very glad that they finally are going to give two progression paths, and mainly so that, what's going to be Mythic Raiders, I guess. Mythic Raiders don't have to go through LFR to get into Heroic Raids first and then Mythic Raids. So, all in all, great choice, Blizzard. Keep it up, because you'll kind of make the hardcore crowd a bit more happy again, which is needed, I think. Something to say, Matt?
Yeah, make the hardcore people happy. So, hardcore people, now you've cleared Siege of Ogma, what are you going to do? Well, let's make an announcement. You've got 6 more months of it at least.
Yeah.
Yay. And no sign of beta.
Well, yeah. Heroes of the Storm Alpha. Hearthstone has come out as a game.
Wow.
There are things to do, just not within World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you have to realize that back in the day they were only focusing on World of Warcraft, but nowadays there's so much more that they do. So I mean, like Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft, and Diablo. I mean, Diablo's coming up, so they're focusing that more, of course. Heroes of the Storm, there's been a lot of information dump going lately. I mean, there's a lot of things that they do, and I mean, of course, this is WoW Weekly, so we mostly talk about WoW. But if you talk about Blizzard as a whole, they have really diversified and increased their productivity over the last 10 years since WoW began.
Well, as I said on Monday's little basically bitch fest, it is very, very ironic that Blizzard make an announcement such as this a week before the new expansion comes out, which may not have sold as many copies as they thought it might sell. So now people are wondering, what should I do? Oh, well, I've had like myself, like all of us, we've all started playing Diablo again since the patch.
Yeah.
And now we're all probably thinking, oh, I've got nothing to do for the next few months. What should I do? I know, Diablo expansion comes out. That will pass a week.
Yeah. Let's move on. So, another thing What was that, Matt?
Bitch fest.
Yeah. Part 2, I guess, today. So, something else that they're going to do, which is good, I guess, is that, we have the random challenge mode daily quests now, which gives you, 125 Valor points or something? Probably less. I'm not sure how much exactly. But that's basically all it does, and it really doesn't give an incentive for people to do challenge modes. Now, what's going to happen in the next expansion is that quest is going to give an epic item of LFR loot quality, or possibly even higher. Really motivating people, I hope, to actually do the challenge modes every day. You just need to complete it, and then you get an item equal to LFR, or maybe better. They haven't decided on that. LJ, let's have you go this time. Awesome or awesome?
I would go for the latter. Awesome. Yeah, let me just think about this. It's a good idea, but of course it's Yeah, with the challenge modes. Sorry, I'm a bit doing two things at a time here, playing WoW. So I'm studying my information.
Yeah,
But no, I think
field research.
field research. That's it. That's it. Nah, but I think it's a good idea also to get more people to actually do it because I think that lacked a lot because not a lot of people did it back like now. Only now when they said, well, there's a deadline and you have to keep up to it, otherwise you won't get all the nice shiny things from it.
Exactly.
So I think it's a good incentive to get people actually doing it from the start on and not just backtracking. So yeah, from that, I'm still not sure if I'll do it. I probably will because of the nice epic it will garner. But
Shinies.
for the rest, shinies. I mean, what more do you want than shinies?
Exactly, because that's what we want, loot.
Exactly. That's why we play these games, especially like Diablo and such. They wouldn't exist because if people didn't like loot and seeing an orange star in your minimap nowadays. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a good idea, and yeah, I think the eye level item you get from it is also appropriate, not too hard or not too high and not too low. So I think it's a good idea.
And Matt, what do you think?
Matt doesn't think.
No, not today. I'm torn between it because at the end of the day, I don't think challenge modes are. I don't know. I'm not a great fan of challenge modes. Full stop. As we said, you have to get your group together, which is fine. But 9 times out of 10, you've got the same people going. They get the same group all the time. So if you're then trying to start it, are people going to want to go with just random people just to get the thing, just to get your valor points that day, or are they going to be thinking, no, but I want to set a time, man? So then you've got friends who can go, but I don't know. I think
You're afraid of the clique forming.
Yeah, it's the whole clique thing, stuff like that. Is it fair having an item drop for that specific type of thing? Why not make an actual challenge? I don't know. They've done the proving grounds and stuff like that. Why not bring it more to proving grounds when it's more individual that you could do? Or are they going to be bringing challenge modes into like random group finder and stuff like that to see how that goes? I don't know. It's just that type of situation where I could do it. I could probably do it with the amount of people that I know, but it also depends what class and everything. It's just when I'm on it's just that type of thing. If I'm on, tanks might not be on. That I just think it's a lot of. I think putting something like that, giving somebody that type of loot for something that's guaranteed for not everyone to be able to do, might be a negative thing.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but keep in mind that, first of all, except for weapon and stuff like that, your gear, when you change spec, will change to that spec's, stats. So that can help in using off specs if there's not a tank, for example. And secondly, if they are indeed going to do it so that you get the item for just completing it with the daily challenge modes quest, then the time doesn't really matter. You can just take it a pack at a time, and it might take longer because I have normalization and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you will get the reward for doing the challenging content.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm a great fan of the whole gear thing anyway. It's going to make things a lot easier. I might even be able to tank. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Then hell would freeze over, I would think. Yeah.
Well,
you see my monk tank.
Yeah, true. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, just thinking with our current guild situation as well, it would make it a lot easier for someone to tank for a bit while recruiting for a new tank.
Yeah, like at the moment we've got a situation where actually I will mention something to you after the podcast.
Okay.
I just thought of something. But yeah, maybe it would help with that situation. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on. As you probably know, High Mall is the first raid instance that will open in Warlords of Draenor. It should be an ogre type
Really?
raid instance. Yes, and not just that, they've given it an extra
Gnomes!
boss. Yes. But getting to the point, they're going to open it just like Mogashen Vaults in Mists of Pandaria in the second week of the expansion. Totally removing the pressure to level as soon as possible, quickly as possible to get it done. Now, of course, you'll still want to gear up as well that week as well, so I guess there's still a bit of pressure, but not as high as having to raid 24 hours after the launch of the expansion. A fun fact, Heimwall will be located in Nagrand. I think it's going to be strange that there's going to be a raid in Nagrand, considering at least I've always just seen it as the big plain with quests and the Ring of Blood.
I think it's nice because I really enjoyed Nagrand and well, you're not going to be spending in it, but I mean the surroundings and such do offer a very good location, I think, for a potential raid.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they make the aesthetics of the raid.
Yeah, exactly. I think with Nagrand you can really make that aesthetically very pleasing. Because, well, everybody knows Nagrand.
My memories of Nagrand being a leather worker, Clefthooves.
I think we all remember the Nessingwary quest there, the grinding of 25 and then 30. What was it? I mean, a gazillion mobs
30.
basically.
And then having every leather worker on the server follow you around for Clefthooves.
Yeah, well, why not?
More Clefthooves.
Gazelles. What are they called?
I'm pretty positive it was something completely retarded that to get to the next stage, to get to the next level or something like, you need something like 300 Clefttooth. Something like that. It was an absolute horrible experience. But I generally love Nagrand, so having a raid there, interesting. It's going to be a new Nagrand, so is it going to look so colourful and pretty like before? We shall see. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out when was the last raid that you actually had open straight away. Was it? It wasn't. It wasn't Wrath of Lich King, I don't think. I think it was back in TBC when that was happened.
I'm sure not. Naxxramas was open in the first week in Wrath.
Was it?
I think it was the second week.
I think that was second week. I'm positive it was second week.
Cataclysm, I'm positive it was the first week.
No, Cataclysm wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Be right back, guys. Just gonna get the popcorn.
Hang
you guys
on.
have fun.
No, because I won't name names, but remember a certain paladin lacking gear.
That was the second week.
Was that really the second week?
Yeah, that was the second week. That's why it annoyed everybody.
Yeah, because he had enough time to gear up.
Because I was social, remember that I was social, and I managed to start. I joined again and managed to start raiding.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, enough of history. But yes, it was the second week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue, and I'll look it up on WoW Wiki while we're continuing.
Deep shock.
Because I'm still not convinced.
He's wrong. No.
Yeah. Well, I'm right 99% of the time. But that aside, moving on. All the bosses in all difficulties will be available when the raid does open, except for LFR, which, just like in Siege of Orgrimmar, will release in wings at different times. Now, do keep in mind that heroic raiding still needs to be done before you can do mythic raiding. Any comments before we move on that particular small issue?
Not really. It's not too much of an issue. It said it's going to be like flexi, so it's not really going to affect the mythic guilds that much. If any, it'll probably aid them a little bit. Be able to get, say, what is it? 25 people can do normal.
Yeah.
And they're
looking to up it to 30.
Yeah, so that'll be really good for the first week of the expansion. Just take every single person in there with roles and everything. That'll be quite good.
Yeah. Let's just move on then to something more interesting, or rather, I guess it's going to have some nostalgia to it for those that played in the Burning Crusade. World bosses will be released over the course of the patch, so one will get released first, a few weeks later the next one, and maybe a month or two later the last one, because there's going to be 3 in the first patch, basically. And one of the world bosses will be an ancestor of the Grons we know. but 3 to 4 times bigger. He's made of stone and will attack players with stone shards and other earth-based attacks. Now, I wonder whose ancestor he could be.
Yeah. Especially...
Yours?
Ooh, okay.
Well, I'm not a dragon slayer.
Wow.
Well, actually, I am
that's right.
by now, but...
I'm pretty sure you got the achievement.
Yeah, exactly. Gruul's ancestor. How awesome is that?
Very awesome, because I think that was a awesome raid instance, so even though it was small and short, but that fight alone, and I would like to see more. Of course, of the Grons themselves as well. They were short but sweet, so, I mean, yeah, bring it on.
It was. That was a cool little dungeon. So I unfortunately, they won't do go back to that type of raiding with. But I did love the fact that you had to get attuned to certain places and stuff. I just think it was really, really good. Even though my guild back in the day, when I was in then I wasn't doing it as hardcore as I say hardcore as more details as I am now, or was back when I joined Bridgeburns. But with regards to that guild, we probably did do everything after the achievements came out. But I love the achievement system. I thought it really made a lot of sense. It made something for people to work towards together.
It replaced the achievement as well. I mean, well replaced. It's gave a new meaning to a lot of things. But I think that achievement itself should come back as well. But I mean, in the form of the Gron we're talking about, because we're getting off topic again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's always a nice thing if they're gonna make it a achievement process again. They're gonna bring that in again. So it would be nice to see, give it a bit of nostalgia. But yeah, we all know we're all saying that now. But back in the day, we all hated it because we had to go do boring stuff.
You mean on Gruul? No, I liked Gruul.
No, well, but that you needed to do stuff before you can progress. I mean, a lot of people like progressing faster than that.
Well, that's why I still say guild achievements done.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
would
true.
solve it.
That would solve it, yeah.
Just for information, the second world boss will be a big plant in the jungle of Draenor.
A Mario Piranha plant?
That would be awesome.
That would be absolutely amazing. And
That would be, wouldn't it?
when you kill it, you turn into a plumber.
A plumber, yeah.
You get a red hat and everything.
And you get a red hat, you turn into a plumber.
Oh, and a toadstool will appear saying the princess is in another castle.
Yep.
The final thing, and it's more nostalgia, I guess, a bit. The world's PvP zone Ashran, so basically the new Wintergrasp, will be somewhat based on classic Otterak Valley, where it could take days for one side to win, and things such as resource collecting and summoning creatures to help with the fight will be part of the zone.
That'll be good.
I'm looking
I can't
forward to
wait.
that. I know we've talked about that a lot as well, Messi, that we'd like to see something like that come back. So it's like they've actually heard us, and well, maybe a lot of people wanted that as well, because Otterak Valley is not by far not what it used to be. So it's pretty awesome that it is coming back. So yeah.
They haven't they haven't done anything like that in this bit, have they? In this expansion.
No, they didn't.
They haven't done anything like Classic Otterak Valley since Classic Otterak Valley.
No, but that means like
World PvP zone.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, that was the
Tulbarad
last
in Cataclysm was the last one.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I'm still a bit dodgy about how Tolblood actually worked.
I think it
didn't work
wasn't a bad place, to be honest. I mean, I think what they did, I mean, they really tried to improve on Wintergrasp, I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And make it a more lively place, which I think they succeeded in. It was just, I mean, we are just not PvP players. I mean, we need the PvP player to really get a good opinion on how it was, to be honest. I mean, but I for a PvE player, also enjoyed it with the quests and everything, and the boss you had there that you couldn't do if it was horde owned or such. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the few PvP things that I Most of the time enjoyed.
Okay. Well, that makes 1 out of 3, I guess.
it's something.
It's something. GG, Blizzard. GG.
Every time you say Gigi, I think you're talking about a gingerbread man from Shrek. He's not good.
That's Gingy.
Is it
Yeah, that
Gingy?
sounds-
Yes.
It's
It sounds like it goes, Gingy.
Alright, now we're getting really, really, really far off topic. Not even in the realm of gaming anymore.
Oh, well, Shrek owns all, huh?
No, let's move on to actually.
Ogres are like onions.
Yes, they have
Okay.
layers.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
We're going back to ogres, if that helps. That's why.
But we're not going back to ogres. We're going on to Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, and that's a lot about WoW.
It's still Blizzard related, so screw you. And we're going to be talking more about the system anyway.
You'll be happy to know I watched an 8-minute video on it today.
Did you watch it on WoWweekly.net?
No, unfortunately I didn't, sorry.
I think we're going to have to banish him, LJ, don't you think?
I don't think that has any point because he's not getting on the website anyways.
That's true. So, let's try this again. This week's discussion points. Now, an article came out this week for Heroes of the Storm explaining basically how heroes can be earned. First of all, it's going to have a League of Legends type rotation if you don't want to buy any. 5 heroes a week will be in a rotation from which you can choose to then play in Heroes of the Storm. Now, once you reach level 7 on your account, you'll unlock an additional hero, giving you a total of 6 free heroes to choose from. And so they're going to change every week. And I believe MMO Champion's counterpart for Heroes of the Storm had data mined that there would be 3 rotations. There's probably going to be more. I can't see 3 being the final number. Now, if you want to add additional heroes permanently, basically, to the heroes that you can play, you can either earn gold, that's going to be the currency for Heroes of the Storm, by playing games, doing quests and stuff like that, or you can just buy them with real-life money. So let's just hold it there, just on hero collection alone. I personally prefer the Dota 2 way of doing it. All heroes are free, but if you want extra skins and stuff like that, you have to buy them. So, I'm really disappointed. I don't really like the League of Legends system.
Is that the League of Legends system?
Yes.
I've never played League of Legends, so I've not got a clue. I've meaning to for a while, actually, to have a go and see what it's like.
I've tried it a couple times, but yeah, I still prefer Dota 2 to LoL, so yeah.
Again, I don't see it as a bad thing, so I don't know how League of Legends works. I've never played it. I don't know if they have the random hero system, like what it looks like they're going to have with this. But
They do.
I quite like the idea of doing it, because at the end of the day, normally random on Dota anyway. There's a couple of characters I like to practice at, but I think it does. It means people don't get locked on their characters, and depending how quickly you do gain gold. Now, I know it's not going to be a very quick thing to gain gold, but depending how quick it takes you to actually gain gold, it might not be a bad thing. It gives you something to work towards.
Yeah.
I guess
True.
you could view it that way. LJ, what do you think?
No, I have to agree with you, unfortunately, that I don't like the system, the LoL system, like I said already. It takes away a lot of the freedom that you have in Dota, and that you just play all the heroes that you would like. I mean, for instance, it could be the first couple of weeks that there's no hero that you really like. There could be some that you're good at but not really like, and then the final one or something that finally is unlocked, or that you can play, is the one that you love. I mean, that's a big possibility, of course, as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can, like with Dota, I like playing multiple heroes, but especially like if you compare the amount of heroes that are on Dota and Heroes of the Storm, as of we know now, I mean, Dota is like 2 or 3 times as many. So there's a bigger possibility that there are more heroes that you will like. So I don't like it. And I also think it's a bit of a shit system to actually make them that you have to pay for the hero themselves. I think that also restricts a lot of people. I mean, of course, you only spend it on the heroes that you really, 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 really like, depending on the price, of course. I mean, if it's only a couple of euros, which I don't expect, I think they have to set a price. I don't think so, right?
Well, I looked a video earlier, and the price that was on there earlier on was about $7.
$17.
No, seven, not 17. This is on what I was watching earlier. It was a video with like the early alpha and the price and stuff on there. The bit that you can do, which I quite like, is the try before you buy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, hang on, I've got it here. There's going to be some hero, basically, different heroes are going to cost different amounts. There's 3 categories right now. The most expensive one is $10. $10 for a hero. That's for Abathur, Kerrigan, Nova, Stitches, and Witch Doctor. Okay. Then you have the $7.50 category, which is the biggest category by far, so I'm not going to name them all.
Diablo's in that.
But Diablo, Arthas, Illidan, Tyrael.
Okay, Illidan.
Those types of heroes.
That's what I was thinking. Illidan.
Yeah. And then the final one is $4, which is currently 4 heroes. The Demon Hunter, which if you're going to get Diablo 3 expansion before the 31st of March, you're going to get the Demon Hunter anyway. So, woo, you get $4 worth extra.
Wow.
And then there's, although, let me amend that in a second, and then there's Malfurion, Muradin, and Raynor. Now, let me amend that by saying, and it's alpha, the prices are undoubtedly going to change, the heroes could be moved to different categories, etc. So there's no way of telling right now how much Vala, the Demon Hunter, will actually be worth when it does come out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's say they do go for $7.50 for one hero.
Again, I don't think that's too bad a price, to be honest. There's been, I mean, for Dota you pay more for the gear and such, but I mean, just the whole the whole thought of it, just I don't really like. But yeah, $7.50 is foreseeable.
But also you got to think as well. It just depends. It's all based on how long it will take you to actually do it in-game gold as well. Because if it's say a couple of weeks, or if the way the quest system works, because remember it is all based on quests as well. If it's say the quest system works in a certain way that you'll get sort of a 3 character in a couple of hours for the first one, and then after that it will then take you a couple of weeks or something like that, and then maybe a bit longer. So within say 2 weeks you could have a couple of characters on your own that you like, and then you've still got the choice of randoms, and if you want to buy one you can buy one. It just depends on the way that's going to work. But it's I've not got a big thing against it, because I say for me I play Dota a little bit. I've not played it anywhere near as you two. But I do quite like. I would play it a lot more if I could actually be bothered to.
Yeah. So the Try Me system is a great segue, because it's going to allow you to test individual heroes out before you buy them. Basically on a custom map where you can try out the different abilities and the talents as well, because you can reset them, you can change the minions, the bots, you can refresh the forts, and clear cooldowns just to test and basically already train yourself a bit with that hero, which is pretty awesome.
It is cool. It is cool the fact it's pure sandbox as well. Apparently, you can do, so you said, you can do absolutely anything you want on there. You can just be as evil as you like, and that does sound pretty cool. It does sound nice, because say I don't know. I've never played LoL again. I don't know if they have that feature, and it's hard to compare the two games with two different ways of doing it, because as you know, with Dota is you have a choice of multiple characters, and you can just buy skins for them. And Some of the skins are stupidly expensive. Someone we know seems to buy them all. I think actually keeps the game in business.
Yeah, him single-handedly, he does.
Yeah, probably it does. Yeah.
Let's just this. I'm not going to name him, but
No.
you have heard him before, quite recently, in fact. But all I can say is this wonderful fact. I went, oh, look at that. It's 20 odd. That's 20 odd quid, that is. Have you got that? Enter name. He just went, no, yeah, I have.
Maybe.
Maybe. So it is just one of those things. It's completely bonkers.
It's basically just like the iPhone. I mean, a lot of people will pay for it. I mean, it doesn't matter the price. Some people just keep paying for it, and I mean, it's just basically finding where that point is that more people will pay for are willing to pay for it. And I think with especially the $7.50, there's still probably €7.50, knowing our luck, will be a good enough price for people to say, yeah, I'd like to buy one or two, or maybe even three, or something like that. I say I'm against it, but I know myself. I'm probably going to buy at least one or two heroes just because I like them so much, and I want to keep on playing them. So yeah, it is probably
I think
very.
all will.
We all will. I mean, eventually or sooner or later. I mean, it's something that you'll give into because you like playing that one hero or two heroes, and that makes it probably very profitable way for us to make an extra bit of money.
Yeah, because jacking up the price of an expansion wasn't enough. Moving on. You'll also be able to get new skins, like Tassadar can become Mecha Tassadar. I believe Uther can become a medevac kind of person, medic. But there's going to be different ways of earning them. First of all, some can be purchased, of course, with the real money. And they're also going to plan on giving them away at events, but also eventually award an additional skin for heroes after players have completed that hero's 6th hero quest. And I believe LJ has just disconnected.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, your screen is completely frozen.
Not on my screen, so I'll just reset my webcam. Sorry about this.
Technical issue, people. If you'd like to wait a few seconds, we shall try and sort it out as quickly as possible.
Is that better? Or
It's still loading.
okay.
But anyway, I'll continue the thought process. So heroes, when you play them, etc., when you level up, are going to get hero quests, which when you complete them, give a gold, experience, that kind of stuff. But also skins and skin tones, because when you buy a skin, that skin will also have 2 additional color schemes, basically. So Mercablo, for example, Murloc Diablo will also have, I believe the standard is the blue skin.
You can get the green one as well.
But then you can also get green and sort of orange, brownish type skin, which you get, or earn rather, by doing the quests for it. Pretty awesome. That's for all the skins then, basically. But yeah, for the skins, I did expect having to pay for them. I mean, sure, I'm just disappointed about the heroes themselves having to buy them.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting the same thing. I mean, maybe we've been playing too much Dota to see to focus on that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about the heroes having to pay. That you have to pay for them as well. But yeah, I mean, from Blizzard's point of view, it's a very profitable and very good way to make money. So I mean, there's nothing we can blame them for, to be honest.
Yeah. And Matt, I assume you're still fine with it, or are you suddenly what skins?
No, I don't say this. This is the same again. This wonderful thing I watched earlier, it was quite detailed, and it was just some of the stuff on there as well. And it doesn't look too bad. It looks all right, and I don't mind if I'm enjoying it. I don't mindset. As I said before, it just depends on how long it does actually take you to do the freebies.
Yeah.
To actually get the gold yourself.
Yeah, and that's basically... We're going to have to wait until halfway to end of beta of it to judge, which is going to be quite a while away. I would not be surprised if this game was still, perhaps even in alpha, but probably in beta in a year from now. Because they've been working on this game for a very long time, and only now it's in technical alpha.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they've been working on it for a long time, but maybe they're prioritizing it now more because of, well, the Diablo thing is Diablo expansion has been released. Of course, there's Waters of Draenor, but yeah, maybe they're emphasizing more on Heroes of the Storm now as well. But that's just a thought. I mean, Blizzard, if they want to postpone, they'll postpone it until it's really
done
finished.
When it's done.
Exactly, and I like that about Blizzard, but sometimes it can be just annoying because it's just like with the expansion that they promise something and they don't deliver. But still, quality over quantity, of course. So it's just Blizzard style, and that's something I've always agreed with because I played way too many games, bought too many games that have been very promising in the past, but they turned out to be utter shit because they forced the deadline too much. If they would have worked on it for like a half a year extra, it would have been the game they wanted, that the players wanted it to be, but they wanted the money more than actual good reviews, so that they can actually make more money. But yeah, that's just basically business.
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, the prices are all placeholders basically, but just for fun, for the skins, the cheapest ones are going to be $7.50 currently, Then the middle tier, $10, and the most expensive ones, $12.50 to $15. And for the mounts, the horse is going to be for free. Then there's some for $10, one for $7.50, and the rainbow unicorn, the really big one, guys, which everyone wants, of course, not really, is going to be $20, and there's static coming from somewhere.
I don't know.
But yeah, I hope that isn't too bad in the podcast, and if so, we apologize. I don't think
Profusely for it.
Exactly.
But no, it is. So I don't know. It depends. It's not going to be that, but I don't think. But we'll see. I don't.
Yeah.
They're making the game.
For that, I guess they're sort of placeholders. I'm sure they made an estimate of in what ballpark they want it to be, but as they continue the alpha and later beta, I'm sure some prices at least will be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be pretty sure about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Things
Because that's how it works, alpha and beta. Things change. I think that's it for this week. Yeah. So thanks very much for watching. This was episode number 26. Half a year's worth of podcasts. So there's a few ways. First of all, if you like this podcast, please comment and subscribe, and click the like button. It's greatly appreciated. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/WoWweekly or Twitter at twitter.com/bbmezzi. And you can, of course, check out our website, wowweekly.net, which is updated almost daily these days with articles when news comes out, mainly for World of Warcraft, but especially in the last week for Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone as well. If there's something interesting for Diablo or StarCraft, we'd post it as well. Because, yeah, we love World of Warcraft, but Blizzard games in general are of pretty high quality. Although I guess something could be said for Diablo 3 at the start. Moving on.
Something. I've got a definition of Diablo 3 at the start. They released it. They made the game, and they thought, you know what, we're going to try and make a good game. Then halfway down, they realised it absolutely ballsed it up. So instead of delaying like they normally do, they thought, I know what we'll do. We'll get people to subscribe to WoW. We'll give it them for free. And then if they bitch about it, well, most people got it for free anyway.
Yeah, they won't. They'll be less inclined to bitch about it.
Most people will just say, "Well, we got a game for free. Why should we moan about it? It's not their fault. It's shite."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think I've been playing it too long because I swear I'm sounding a bit like the feckin' Templar.
Glorious.
Oh, I love that battle.
All right. Thanks to LJ and Matt for joining.
Watching, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's it. So thanks again for watching, listening, whatever. You're probably listening to this while doing something boring anyway. So until next time.
See you next time.
See ya.